Hello, I'm Prepper Mama 1, and this is video 2 of the Prepper video series that I'm going to be doing for you guys. And this week I'm going to be talking to you about how to store your food long term. And I want to take you step by step. I actually have some rice that I need to pack in buckets. And I also got some beans that I'm going to pack in small Mylar bags. So I'm going to take y'all step by step through the process of how I do it. There's other options out there for you guys. I will say that it can be a little pricey for Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers and whatnot. There are some other alternatives that I will be sharing with you guys too. That way you have some options. You don't have to do everything that I'm doing, but I just wanted to show you how I do things. Alright, now let's get started. What do you need for long-term storage? Well, I'll show you what I use, okay? You're going to need Mylar bags, and there's different sizes of Mylar bags. Oh, tip number 1, always have what you're going to be using close to you. Go ahead and have it ready. That way, nothing is left out. You don't forget anything. Just make sure you got all you need, all your supplies around you when you are packaging your food. It's always a good tip. Alright, Mylar bags. This is a bucket Mylar bag. This is for a 5, 6, or 4 gallon size bucket. I like the kind with the ziplock at the top. You don't necessarily have to have that. I like these for like rice or sugar, things you are going to be getting in and out of all the time, especially with a big bucket and you just got one thing in there. So there's that big old Mylar bag for the buckets. And this is a half gallon size. Now this is what I'm going to be using for my beans. I like the half gallon size because it's smaller. It makes for a great bartering size. It's a good size for bartering with in SHTF situations. Again, I've got the Ziploc, but you don't have to have these. These are a little bit more expensive than the ones that don't have the Ziploc on the top. I just prefer these. Also, on these smaller ones, they got the little ends there. This helps with the bag standing up. It's really helpful if you're doing this by yourself like I am today. Another tip for you guys, it's always great to have a helper helping you with all this, especially if you have a lot to do. I don't have too much, so I'm comfortable with doing this all by myself today. But I'll show you how this stands up later. What else do you need? Well, if you're going to do buckets and store like a bucket of rice or sugar or something, you're going to need buckets and lids. Now, I buy my buckets from Lowe's. I just go there because it's closer to me. I'm sure Home Depot has some too. But make sure you get the kind that has food grade on there. This is a food grade bucket. What I mean by food grade is the plastic. The plastic is food grade. That means it's safe for food to store in. Also, it has to have the HDPE 2. Number 2 is what you're looking for. That means it's food grade. Alright. So, you don't have to order your buckets online or anything like that unless your stores just don't carry food grade buckets. You've got a couple options for lids. This is just a cheap lid that I got from Lowe's. If you go this route, make sure it has a gasket seal. That way you're getting airtight seal on your buckets. That way things can't get in there, bugs, air, whatever. Make sure it has that. And a more pricier option is the Gamma Seal lids. I prefer these, especially for items you're getting in and out of, like your rice and your sugar, or beans or whatever. So these are anywhere from 6 to 8. I've even seen them for $9 a piece. That's just for one lid for a bucket. It is pricey, but you will be able to reuse these a lot. And it does have the gasket seal around here. Now let me show you what it looks like to get in and out of them. Now these, I have rice in here already. This is not sealed up or anything. I still have to put oxygen absorbers inside. I just wanted to do some of it before I started my video. But basically the Gamma Seal lid has two parts. It's this part here. Just take a rubber mallet and pound it on the bucket. And then this is the second part of the lid, where you just take it and there you go. It's sealed. It's airtight. And then sometimes you have to tug a little bit to get it open. But it doesn't really take a lot of effort to open and close these lids. So it's great for if you have any elderly in your family and they want to get access to rice or sugar or something, they won't have any problems getting into that lid. Alright, oxygen absorbers. Alright, this is what an oxygen absorber looks like. I don't know if you can see this. This is just a big pack of oxygen absorbers. Now this is how it came to me when I ordered it online, and I go to USAemergencysupply.com. I believe that's what they are. But this is how it was shipped to me. The only bad thing I can say is they put too many in one pack. Okay, who is going to do 20 buckets in one day? Well, I'm not going to be doing 20 in one day. So, you know, I wish they would do the quantities like in 5s. That would be perfect, or even better individually. That way you are not exposing the rest of the oxygen absorbers to oxygen. But I'm going to show you real quick. I'll get kind of close to the camera here. This is an oxygen indicator. When it's pink, you're in good shape. That means no oxygen is being exposed. But if this turns purple, that means oxygen is getting inside and these are starting to absorb it. So you want this to be pink, not purple. And this is the 200 cc's. Or not 200, excuse me, 2,000, I apologize, 2,000 cc's. This is the size you want for your buckets, your 4, 5, and 6 gallon buckets. You only need one. Now you can put more in there if you want to, if it makes you feel safer. That's great. Can't go wrong with more than what you need. Just don't put less than what you need in there, because that's not good. You're not getting the full effect of, you're not getting the full shelf life out of your food. But I just do one. In my experience, it's done fine so far. So all you need really is one 2,000 cc for the buckets. If you're doing the 1 gallon size buckets, you need a 500 cc for the 1 gallon Mylar bag. I'm sorry, I said bucket, didn't I? I mean Mylar bag. 500 cc, just one of those, or you can do 2 of them. For the half gallon, I do 500 cc. Now that's a little much. Okay. But they say it's recommended 300 cc's. But I didn't want to have to buy different size oxygen absorbers. I do have 300 cc's, but I'm saving those for an alternate way to store food. And I'll go over that later. Okay. So I was talking about oxygen absorbers, and let me show you how I repackage mine. I use my Food Saver to repackage my oxygen absorbers, and I do check these every month to make sure that it's still good and sealed. And what I do is I take the indicator out of these bags and I put it inside. That way I know if oxygen is getting inside or the bag has been compromised in any way. Some people just put them in a mason jar and put a lid on top. That's great too, but I just, all that air that is in the lid is going to get, they're going to be soaking it up. They're going to be absorbing that. Alright, you don't have to have this, but it's a good idea to have this. This right here will open your lids, especially if you got the cheaper ones. You just kind of press down on here and you just, well, this is not sealed, but I mean if it was sealed, you just kind of pop it up. This is a good thing to have. Okay, I'm going to show you what a good seal is and what a bad seal looks like. Alright, here's some egg noodles that I have to repackage. This one here, somehow, I don't know what happened. You know, chances are I could have forgot to put the oxygen absorber inside. That's a possibility. When I was doing all these, I had a lot of these small bags, and I was just kind of putting me in, and there's a chance that I skipped it and just didn't realize it. Because oxygen absorbers need about 4 hours to get the full effect. So that's what's recommended. Wait about 4 hours. You can go and check to see if everything's looking good after that amount of time. So this is bad. See the movement in here? Not a good seal at all. This, however, is a good seal. I hope you can see the difference in the bags. See how everything is drawn in? I've got egg noodles in here, and you can kind of see the shape of the egg noodles. That's what it should look like. This is a good seal. I just want to show y'all guys the difference in that. So I'm going to be repackaging these today. I am going to do the buckets first. So I'm not going to be using this one. So let's get started. Here, get your bucket, and make sure it's not a very humid day. It's sort of humid today, but not a lot. We've had a few sunny days this week. So that's why I've been waiting until today to do it. It's been kind of rainy here lately where I'm at. I'm sick and tired of the rain, to be honest with you guys. It's just flooding really bad. It was flooding bad. So, and also make sure your buckets are clean. Now, I know I'm putting the Mylar bags inside and it doesn't really matter, but it's just a good habit to do. You don't have to have a Mylar bag inside. You can just stick the rice inside of the bucket and stick some oxygen absorbers inside and seal it up. You don't have to have the Mylar bag. It's just, this is extra protection from bugs especially. Okay. And I should mention that Mylar bags have different thicknesses too. Because you know, your balloons, the shiny balloons that you can buy, they blow it up at the store and stuff. That's Mylar bag. That's a really, really thin Mylar bag. Some of your food, like the Chex Mix that I've been buying, those are Mylar bags. They're just really, really thin Mylar bags. This is a 7 grade thickness. It's a pretty decent thickness. You can buy 6. You can buy, I think I've seen 8, and a 7.5. I know you can buy. I just buy 7. Kind of in between. And make sure your hands are washed, and I did wash mine. That way you want to keep everything as sanitary as possible. And all you do is just kind of place the bag inside. And you want to kind of mold the bag around the bucket a little bit. Now when you pour your rice or your sugar or whatever you're pouring in here, it will expand. You can freeze your rice. Someone had suggested it to me like a couple months back. And although I don't have bug problems, doesn't mean that I won't ever, you know, have bug problems. So it's just a good habit to have. You can put this in a freezer for a few days. I just do a small hole because I want to pour slowly. I don't want to make a huge mess. So I just make a small hole. Let's see if we can do this. Alright, so I get it filled up some. And you shake it. That's how it's going to form in the bucket.